Welcome to Fandemically Reviewed, part of the Fandemic. This is a podcast about the things you love and the voices that do and don't. Each episode, I'll answer the question that we all ask ourselves every time we watch a TV show or movie. Where the hell do I know them from? I'll take a look at the directors, writers, and actors, and then read some of the best good and bad reviews that I can find based on title alone. I'll give you my thoughts as well, all so you can make up your own damn mind in under 30 minutes. I'm the self-proclaimed Emperor of Awesome, Bradley Buchanan, and this is Fandemically Reviewed. So today I'm going to talk about Inside Out 2. Watched this last weekend. Well, actually, I watched it twice last weekend. Once with my youngest daughter, and then once with the family. And I'm a big fan of this movie. I think it's one of the best movies so far this year. I'm just gonna say that right now. I haven't read these reviews. Like I said, title alone. So we're gonna see who can rate this out of one. Maybe we can pick it apart. I don't know. Maybe it's just haterade. We'll see. So I watched a movie at B&B Theaters in Ankeny, Iowa. I work there, so obviously that's where I'm gonna go. I do all the marketing for the theater. Love my job. It's awesome. And really liked Inside Out 1. It was a really good movie, and I'm glad they took their time with the sequel because this is worth it. So, let's get into the some dirty deeds of the movie. Right now, looks like IMDb is currently rating this at an 8 out of 10, and I think that's a fair rating, with 107 reviews. Rotten Tomatoes has it at a 92% on the tomato meter and a 96 on the audience score, which is fantastic. So, IMDb is the synopsis for this is simply follows Riley in her teenage years encountering new emotions. That's pretty spot on. So let's go over some of the creative team here. This is directed by Kelsey Mann. Um, Also directed Party Central, Green Screen Show, and Megas XLR. However, has had their hand in many projects throughout Pixar and many other things. So check out her IMDb. She's also one of the writers. She also wrote Monsters at Work, The Good Dinosaur. All the other writers are Dave Holstein and Meg LaFave. I'm sorry, I'm pronouncing that wrong. Meg LaFave is also one of the writers of Inside Out, Captain Marvel, My Father's Dragon, and The Good Dinosaur. Dave Holstein is also credited for writing Weeds, The Brink, Kidding, Raising Hope. Raising Hope is great. Main stars, Amy Poehler is Joy. Inside Out, Baby Mama, Parks and Rec, Saturday Night Live. You know her. She's hilarious. Maya Hawke, she is one of the new emotions, anxiety. You know her from Stranger Things, Do Revenge, Fear Street, Maestro, and she is the daughter of Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman. Kensington Tallman, she is the voice of Riley. She's been in Home Sweet Rome, That Girl, Lele, Drama Club, Summer Camp. I think a lot of these are more like Nickelodeon based stuff. I'm not really familiar. I got nothing wrong to say with her performance. Liza Lipera, Liperia. Gosh, I can't talk. Words are hard. She's discussed, and she was in 21, Crazy Stupid Love, Equalizer TV series, Nancy Drew, Fast and Furious, Domino. She's got quite the resume, and she is the one that I'm like, oh, that is her. Oh, so much. Tony Hale, he plays Fear from Arrested Development, Veep, Toy Story 4, he was Forky, Unfrosted, Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate, Critical Role, Harley Quinn, Solar Opposites. Lewis Black, he's Anger. Obviously from Inside Out, Man of the Year, SpongeBob SquarePants, Accepted. Phyllis Smith, she's Sadness. You've seen her in Inside Out, original The Office, Bad Teacher. Uh, a, Ani Edibiri, she plays Envy. Bottoms, she was April O'Neil in TMNT Mutant Mayhem. Fantastic. The Bear, Theater Camp, Clone High. Yeah, she's gonna be going big places. She's already there, really. Lilimar, she plays Valentina. She's been in Bella and the Bulldogs, Hoobie Halloween as well with Adam Sandler. Grace Liu, she plays Grace, and she's in Fight Crew. She's does a lot of video game voice acting. Persona 3 Reload, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Adele Axakopopolius, she is Ennui, which is Bodum. Blue is the warmest color. Orphan, Animal Kingdom, is some of the credits she has to herself. Diane Lang, she's the voice of Mom. She's been in a million things. Unfaithful, Man of Steel, Gladiator. Kyle MacLachlan, he's Dad. He's in Twin Peaks, the original Dune, Portlandia, Fallout, Young Jedi Adventures. He's a very, very famous actor. All right, here's my disclaimer. I base the reviews that I choose solely on title alone, and I've not read through them. Please forgive me if I mispronunciate words. I normally no talk good. I will do my best to read them as I see it. Punctuation good, bad, and all. So let's find out what the people are saying about Inside Out 2, shall we? Let's start with some bad reviews. All right, this is a 1 out of 10, and this one is called This Sequel Was Using Some Elements of Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken, and it lost its luster of the Oscar-winning first film. This is from just June 14th, so the day that it came out nationally. A decade ago, I saw the first film, and it was a critically acclaimed hit and industry acclaimed, won the Oscar for Best Animated Feature. But to make a sequel that has elements to Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken, it was a bad move. The animation is almost going to the uncanny valley story of teenage life is taken from Ruby Gillman's playbook. The folks from Emeryville are watching what Kirk and Farin are doing for Ruby, and the folks responded by having one of their own acclaim hits with the sequel. I only praise the voice cast performance. They did a terrific job on the film, with the new character played by the daughter of Ethan Hawke is surprising. But for most, they are stealing so many stuff that Ruby Gillman have achieved that with high school drama, fantasy elements, experimental score, and a teenager as a lead with definitely a knockoff. It had a very distrust in franchise and sequels because it will lose its luster with its audience, and very supportive of films with original ideas. This film is definitely the one I will not to go see. I gave this a thumbs down and a 1 out of 10. So, did this person just verify that they have not seen the movie when they gave this a 1-star review? Is this person bombing the rating here? If you haven't seen it, you have no room to talk. Don't rate something that you're not going to see. I don't like it for Star Wars has the most toxic fandoms, but there's good criticism there as well. But if you're not going to sit there and watch the product, then you get to sit down and shut up. So nothing for this guy. If he says he's not going to go see it, but then said it's like Ruby Gillman. Ruby Gillman was dumb. I could not stand that movie. Anyway, let's keep moving forward. Here is a 3 out of 10. This one is called Terrible Depressing Downer of a Silly Story. Garbage. And unfortunately, this new sequel has none of the unique charm of the original, and the story feels more like a bad downer day throughout the entire journey of the story. We tried to like this movie, but it kept going downhill to the point that kids and parents started leaving the theater. Yeah, I don't believe that for a second. And it makes one wonder if the writers thought people would enjoy an entire story soured by sadness and failure by making a joyless character movie. Literally, that is the entire premise. You're missing some things there. Hopefully, Pixar will regain its original stories and create some cool ideas, maybe even some new concepts instead of sequels that rarely rival the originals. But this one is a stinker and terrible idea unless you want a joyless movie. Maybe the writers wrote it during COVID and thought it was a great idea, but they forgot that joy is the star, provided there is something positive in the story for the audience. And we would rather stay home if it's a down or negative story. ESP with prices of the movies these days, especially with prices of the movies these days. Only 3 stars for the animation, but it's pointless if the story is not good. Um, man, so I think you might be missing the point. The point is that you have to find the balance between anxiety and joy. What do you do when you're young and all these new feelings, these new emotions come in? I thought the interaction between the emotions was freaking brilliant. Like, and I watched it twice, and the second time I picked up so much more. So, um, cool. You got your opinion. I disagree with you. So let's move on to some good reviews. Okay, I have a 10 out of 10. And this one is called The Fact This Movie Was So Relatable Is What Makes It Great. Warning, spoilers. I have a great sympathy for Inside Out. I watched it when I was only 10, and I remember it very fondly. I was fascinated by the concept, and the execution was flawless. Now, sequels are always tricky business because they can be great, but can also feel out of place and disappointing. So, of course, I had my worries heading to the cinema, but I'm overjoyed that I can recommend it so warmly. That's very nice. First of all, it lines up with the previous film well, with Riley entering her teen years, which their execution was wonderful. The overreacting, the over dramatizing really fit with the narrative, and it was a joy to watch. Then came the overtake of anxiety and the saying that now there can only be more complex emotions is really what defines the mess, which is to grow up. And the whole message of balancing your emotions felt so correct, as it was what helped me most during my own teenage years. And their display of an anxiety attack was also well executed and felt relatable to my own experience. Overall, it was written beautifully and executed perfectly. The new emotions added a lot of depth, and the whole experience left me happy crying out of the cinema. Could you really ask for more? So, yeah, go watch it. We were all teenagers once. You won't be disappointed. Yes, this one hit me in the feels. This person is correct right on. Let's do some more. Here's a 9-star review. This one is called Emotions Personified. This recaptures the magic of the first film. The personification of various emotions cleverly shows the nature of human feelings and actions. The writing is great with a strong message about emotional growth and understanding oneself. The animation is full of bright colors and unique designs, making every scene visually appealing. The voice actors' performances were fantastic, adding depth and authenticity to the characters. The story flows smoothly and the pacing keeps you engaged from start to finish. I recommend watching it in the IMAX IT enhances the immersive experience. I watched it in ScreenX. The larger screen and better sound quality make the vibrant animation and emotional scenes even more impactful. I lied. I watched it on a grand screen, 60 feet across, 40 feet up. It was great. Let's do another one. Here's another 9 out of 10. Is this a documentary film? Yes. Okay. I don't know how to stop anxiety. Maybe that's what happens when you grow up. You feel less joy. That's a direct quote from Joy. I'm sorry, is this a documentary about my life? I honestly never understood why so many people were like, oh, Pixar is going down in ruins because Soul, Luca, and Turning Red were all great. Uh, but this tastes way better after Lightyear. This is a Pixar hit. Best animated movie of the year. That's all I can say about this masterpiece. Synopsis: the little voices inside Riley's head know her inside and out, but next summer, everything changed when Disney and Pixar's Inside Out 2 introduces a new emotion: anxiety. Um, yeah, yeah, I dig it. Let's do an 8-star review here. Got one more. Maybe this is what happens when you grow up. You feel less joy. Inside Out 2 talks about growing up in an emotional way and depicts how growing up is challenging inside our thoughts. The film introduces the emotions we had from the previous movie: joy, anger, sadness, fear, and disgust. We also are introduced to new emotions: embarrassment, ennui, boredom, envy, and anxiety. Riley's about to go to high school, but the story focuses on her preparation to officially join the Foghorn hockey team. As the story progresses, Riley finds herself challenged with her hopes to join the team. Her friendships was wounded, her emotions went all over the place, and the pressure got to her head. But eventually everything goes into their proper places. The sequel film may be animated and made for kids, but as an adult, it just hits differently. I can say that this film was partially made for adults and for anyone who's in a bad mental situation. It reminds viewers how growing older can be tough, how overthinking affects everything else, how decisions that are made today may affect what's next. But it is also a strong reminder that problems, fear, worries, and anxieties will come. They are all inevitable, but everything will pass. Take a deep breath, stay calm, and do not overstress everything. Having a calm mind also affects the way we think. We may feel pressure at any given time, but we have to sit back and relax. Do not overstress things at the present. Live at the moment. The future is there, but we live at the present right here, right now. Enjoy life. Remember that you are not alone on whatever you are facing. Keep your friends and family close. And finally, God is always with us. Inside Out 2 is a great film. Every audience will have a different way of enjoying this. But just remember, you are who you are. Embrace yourself. This was a great one to stop with. Okay. Um, my thoughts are the same. This is a fantastic movie. It's one of the best movies I've seen this year. This is going to be right up there with Dune Part 2 for me, and Beekeeper. I love Beekeeper. So what did you think? Let me know. Is there more of a conversation? Let me know. Let's take a look. Who was the best? Who was the best actor, voice actor in there? I'm gonna say Anxiety. Maya Hawke. I'm gonna give that. I didn't think there was a bad performance though, at all. I mean, maybe someone that didn't have a lot of speaking, but even embarrassment. I think he had only a few lines was pretty spot on. Which is also embarrassment. The story was great, fantastic cinematography. The story, it was just so good. I think probably the show stealer for everything. Um, Anxiety. Mm, Yeah, yeah. So if you want to find me, friend me, or follow me, you can go to Facebook at the Fandemic, TikTok at the Fandemic One, Instagram at the Fandemic One. If you feel there is more of a conversation, feel free to reach out. Let's talk. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the next guest on the Fandemic. If you want to support the show, there are several ways to do so. Buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/the Fandemic. Drinking some right now. You can go to Patreon at patreon.com/PVOTN Fandemic, PayPal or Venmo at Bradley Butin. Most importantly, just share the show with someone you want to make a little more awesome. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review. And if you like this, check out All Things Fandemic and hear all the fun conversations with myself, Brian, and whoever else wants to talk. You can also order my kids' books, Leveling Up My Awesome and Stuffed Animal Night Force versus the Dream Invaders on Amazon, or contact me directly. I got a couple more books that I'm working on, and probably going to have probably have information on that by the end of the week. So those should be coming up soon. All right. Inside Out 2, you just got pandemically